everybody, and welcome. Thank you for being here. Just to let you know, I'm here with a very good friend of mine, gentleman I've known for many, many years, called Michael Brook. I'm going to introduce Michael in a minute, but I just want to let Michael know that I'm getting a reverb on my voice, Michael, again. So we've been playing with this before, but perhaps you can alter that.
Yeah. Well, I will try.
Okay, so yeah, that's fine now. You've sorted it. Well done.
All right, that didn't take long.
So welcome everybody. Today we're live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're also on the podcast on iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, and so on. And we've got actually normally anyway over 8,000 views. That noise is back again, Michael. I'm afraid. It's reverbing like mad.
Right. Okay. Well,
we need to try and sort that out if we can.
I'm not even speaking, so I don't know where that's coming from.
It's my voice is like going a second or two after. But anyway, let's just carry on. I think you're going to be doing most of the talking, Michael. So today we're talking about hypnosis. Now, it's quite an unusual subject for me because most of you know I'm a marketing guy. But the truth of the matter is, I believe that with marketing, a lot of it is hypnosis in terms of marketing. Persuasion is probably a better word for it. But anyway, I'm going to hand over to Michael and ask him to tell everybody, just to kick off, a little bit about him and what he does.
Okay, so just to give you a little bit of background, give it a bit of context will help. Way back in the dim and distant past, I was a trauma specialist nurse, so I worked in that high pressure environment. I then joined the pharmaceutical industry and climbed that slippery pole for a number of years, and then in the year 2000. I set up on my own with my own training and development company, which was based around some technology that most of you will probably have heard of called neuro-linguistic programming, which is a way of looking at how you can use your brain better to get better results. And that's basically what my training was about. It was about sales, it was about leadership and management, but the technology behind it was very much NLP, whether I spoke to my clients about that or not. So I spent a lot of time doing that. I also got involved in a lot of video work, but now my focus is on hypnosis, but self-hypnosis in the corporate environment. So in that environment where, you know, people find themselves at a senior position and maybe don't feel all that prepared for the job that they've just landed, and helping them to understand how they can achieve better results using self-hypnosis or hypnosis, which is one and the same thing really. It's just one I might do with you. The second one, self-hypnosis, you will do for yourself, but with my instruction.
Brilliant. It's a funny thing, hypnosis, isn't it? You know, there's the perception that I'm going to be running around the room pretending to be a chicken, and that's clearly not what you do, you know. So tell me, you know, how I imagine I'm a senior business person, big corporate. How are you going to help me? What are you going to do for me?
Okay, so the first thing that I need you to understand is this doesn't necessarily mean you're broken in any way.
No.
It might just mean that you want to get that extra 5, 6, 10% performance on a daily basis. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're broken. And what I do is I model excellence and help you understand if one person can do this, I understand how they do it, and you could adopt those techniques. But if you are a little bit unsure about how to proceed, it's about understanding what's holding you back and how we can apply some hypnotic principles to give you, well, to overcome those things that are holding you back. So that's a really key thing to understand, is that you don't need to be broken. In fact, 90% of the people I work with are extremely high performers,
Yeah.
successful people who just want to be more successful at what they do. So they're not necessarily at all broken in any way. But yes, you're right. There is this misperception, if you like, about yeah, and that is stage hypnosis.
Hypnosis.
It's
Yeah.
hypnosis that is
Yeah.
designed for
For
entertainment,
entertainment and fun.
and
Yeah.
it's quite an interesting way of entertaining people. But that's not what I'm about at
No.
all. It's
No.
about helping people in the ways I've just described.
Yeah.
So it's certainly nothing to be fearful of. It doesn't mean to say that you are going into a state where that you can't get out of it. It's you're not entering a state where you can't come out of it at any time, and you still have a degree of awareness. Although we go deeper into an unconscious state.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean to say that you can't get out of it, or you're going to do anything ridiculous,
Yeah.
like give away your passwords or your
Yeah. You don't.
deepest
Yeah. Yeah.
secrets. That's not going to
Intimate
happen.
secrets. No. No. About the company or something. You know.
Yeah, or
Access
yourself.
to the bank account or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I fully get that. And I think, it's really important when you are operating at a high level in anything, whether it's sport, business, management, leadership, that you look at ways in which you can maximize the effectiveness of you.
Absolutely, and you might have. I don't know, any of you guys that are watching this at the moment. You'll be aware that the athletics are on at the moment, and
Yeah.
there's one particular event that is quite marked, which is the high jump, and you see these superb athletes, people at the top of the peak, and you can see them going through this process before they make the jump. What they're actually doing there is visualizing the jump before it happens, and that is critical to behavior, and that is to, practice before you actually do it, because that then what that's actually doing for these people is it's a process of visualization, which is self hypnosis in itself. But what they're actually doing is practicing whatever it is that they want to do ahead of time. Because once you keep practicing these things, you are actually using exactly the same neurology to imagine doing it as you would be to actually doing it.
Is it true? I think I believe it is that what your brain perceives, it can achieve. I've heard that somewhere. Yeah.
That's perfectly correct. Yeah, and in fact, you need to be able to perceive it to be able to achieve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're in the dark. You don't
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
it looks like.
Uh,
Imagine, going into a mission critical management role, but you've never seen anybody perform that role before. What do you do?
mm-hmm.
What do you actually do? Well,
Yeah.
unless you know what that behavior looks like, you've not a chance of getting it right, have you?
Yeah, yeah. It's like when I don't know, you stand up on the stage in front of 1,000 people for the first time.
Yeah.
Some people can, even before they get up there, fall to pieces, because
They've
they're so
lost before
nervous.
they
Yeah,
start.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And I remember from my table tennis days, some of you may know that years ago I used to play table tennis at international level. I was a full-time player for 10 years. And I always had this saying, whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're probably right.
Yeah, that's a very famous quote from Ford, isn't it? Whether you think you can or whether you
Yeah,
think you
I think
can't,
you
you're
can't.
right. It,
Yeah.
it's and it's because it's your subconscious mind, which is what we're working with when we perform in hypnosis. Whether you're doing self hypnosis or I'm doing hypnosis with you, what we're working with is your unconscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
because it's your unconscious, not your conscious mind. It's your unconscious that dictates what you do and how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to do that, we need to access that unconscious mind, which is where the state of hypnosis comes in, to allow us past that conscious critical factor that we call it. So we're going through the conscious mind, which is pretty weak and feeble in many ways, into your unconscious, bypass that conscious critical factor, so that I can access that subconscious mind so that you can get the right behavior.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. It occurs to me that listening right now, because of my market and the people that tend to listen and come on to my podcast, we're going to have a lot of business people here. Some of them could be small businesses, some of them are more larger corporate businesses. So my question is, what are they going to benefit? How can you help them in their career or help them actually impact their perhaps small business?
Okay, in many ways, I use a phrase where I help you to rewire your conscious mind, because if you are underperforming or performing badly, it is usually because of programming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you think about it in terms of a computer, I can't do anything about the hardware, but what I can affect is the software.
Okay.
So if you've been badly programmed, or you've badly programmed yourself, well, then we can correct that. It's a bit like, many of us that have dabbled with golf over the years. We see people down the golf driving range.
Yeah.
And they'll buy 100 balls and they'll hit 100 balls down the driving range, but the technique is totally rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
All they're doing is reinforcing rubbish
the same
technique.
Rubbish shot, yeah.
And
That's
you're going to get the same rubbish quick for the same rubbish shot forever, because you're reinforcing that.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter what level of business you're in, whether you're a small business owner, whether you're the top of a Fortune 500 company, or even if it's just a hobby. What I help you to do is to understand what good behavior, good performance, what excellence looks like, so you can keep repeating that.
Brilliant. Thank you.
So can I just also say, I mean, people talk about making these statements of positivity to yourself, affirmations.
Yeah.
And I am the best, I am the best, I am the best, I can be the best, I can be all that sort of stuff. And people say, yeah, it doesn't really work. Well, no, because your unconscious mind doesn't just respond to the words that you command. It actually responds to repetition. So what we need to be doing that is not doing 100 affirmations back to back. What we need to say is, right, every day at 10 o'clock, I'm going to give myself these 5 conscious experiences in here, so that when it comes to do it in reality, my brain has already accepted that is how I go about doing things.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's
before you actually get to that point.
Yeah. I always remember, I'm I don't know whether fan is the right word, but I've got a high level of respect for Tony Robbins.
Of course, yeah. Who wouldn't?
A lot of stuff from over the years. Now, I always remember Tony talking and saying that whether you believe in incantations or not, you're incanting things. And he said there's a big difference between an incantation and an incantation. Yeah, can't and can being the operative word. Because we incant ourselves all the time. No, I can't do this, I can't do that. Oh, I'm not sure, I'm a bit nervous about it. We're programming that in all the time, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, I'll never beat him at table tennis, he's too good. I've got a young lad I'm coaching right now, to be honest, Michael, and convincing him that he can beat, he's ranked about 200 in England. And if I said to him, look, you know, play this guy, he's only ranked 60 in England, you can beat him. He don't believe me. You know, and you know, he gets what he believes.
He does.
Yeah, so he goes on, plays well, loses closely, and thinks he's done great.
Yeah,
could have beaten him.
But he's probably saying to himself afterwards, "Told you so."
Yeah. And he's also saying,
right
"I did well." In fact, he's told me he's done well. He's lost, but he's done really well. You know, that was not the objective.
No, exactly. Yeah, and so that's what we do with. You see, it's not. You know, people shy away from things like hypnosis because of that reputation of clucking round a stage like a chicken.
Yeah.
Or the fact that it's a bit voodoo or a bit
don't really understand it. Yeah.
It is none of those things.
No,
it's actually grounded in real reality, and
so it's almost in science. Well, it is in science. It's science of what's in here, isn't it?
And neuroscience now is coming on leaps and bounds. So it's not that we're changing; we understand what's changed better. And neuroscience teaches us how we can change the way we think, which ultimately changes our performance.
Yeah.
People think, that, to get more confidence,
that
they have to get the confidence and then do the thing.
Yes.
Well, actually, it's doing the thing that gives us the confidence.
Do you know, I always remember, quick story, many years ago, I was doing table tennis exhibitions. That was to earn a bit of money in the summer. And I went to Pontins at Camber Sands near Hastings. And I was very confident at going out and playing. I was playing in front of 5,000 people. And I was like 18. No problem. Very confident at that. I'd done it loads and loads of times. And then this one day, the guy who used to do the introductions on the microphone got an emergency phone call 30 seconds before we were due to go on. So he said, right, Steve, you're going to have to do the microphone. And I was with another player called Alan. You'll do the playing, Alan. So I had like 10 seconds notice to go out and talk in front of 5,000 people for about 40 minutes. I've got to say, after that, talking in front of groups is never, ever a problem ever again. It was the first time I've spoken to a microphone. But it gave me such confidence, the doing.
Yeah.
Nothing else ever fazed me, really.
Yeah, and it's amazing how and that's why my focus is on the corporate environment, because I've spent so long working in hospitals at the sharp end, being a trauma specialist nurse, then in the corporate environment. And, I see so many people who don't take action because they don't feel confident.
Yeah.
But what they're not getting is the fact that they never will feel confident until they take the action and prove to themselves that they can do it.
Yeah, fantastic. So 3 tips, 3 things that people can do to help themselves improve their confidence, become better.
Okay, so let's think of some ways that you can rewrite, and then this in itself sounds a bit woo, but it's not. It's how can you rewrite your subconscious? How can you rewrite your conscious mind so it acts appropriately for you? Now, the first one to think about is repetition.
Yeah, as you said earlier. Yeah.
Not just repetition of the action, but repetition of the emotion that goes with the action. Because it's the feeling, it's like, what are you doing, the action? How do you feel about it? What's the emotion that it's giving you? And you need the emotion in order to reprogram your unconscious mind, your subconscious. That's critical. Is
Okay.
the emotion.
Right.
My next, well, actually my favorite, because I believe it's the quickest and I think it's the easiest to do, and yet some people say they can't do this, is visualization.
Right.
And you'd be amazed when I want to do a visualization with exercise with somebody, because the reason why I want to do it as a visualization exercise is because it's quick, is because it's easy. And the reason why it's easy is because you do it every day. You visualize things that you haven't yet done or you're about to do every day. And they say, "Oh, I can't, I'm rubbish at visualization. I can't see things like that." And the simple thing is, well, tell me what color your front door is. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do it to you now, Steve. What colour is your front door?
White.
Right, okay. As you walk through the door, the first piece of furniture you see, what is it?
It would be a table.
Okay, so everybody that's watching this, did you see what happened to Steve's eyes? His eyes moved so that he was accessing where that table is. He's opened the front door, he's gone in. I said, "What's the first piece of furniture you see?" He couldn't answer until he saw it. And his eyes went up and they went in this direction here, so that he'd seen that table.
You know, it's really weird, isn't it? How you know, a lot of times we go like this, don't we? We go, if you ask me a question and I'm not quite sure, I go,
Yeah.
like, what's that about? What am I looking up there for? But
Well, that's thinking.
Yeah,
You're thinking.
yeah, absolutely.
And that thinking is often visualization. So
Yeah.
visualization is quick, it's easy because you do it every day, and it creates profound change if you repeat it on a daily basis. So you know, for visualization, I would schedule maximum 5 minutes a day for 5 days to visualize the thing that you want to be able to do more easily or more effectively.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, you might have found yourself as a new manager in a large organization.
Yeah.
And one thing you hate is confrontation.
Right.
Because you're the nice guy.
Yeah.
You're the nice manager. You're the guy that everybody wants to be with, you know?
Want to be popular. Yeah.
You want to please people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that can be a bit of a problem. But if you can visualize yourself having that conversation with somebody, and you use all the right language, you use all the right body language, you come up with all the right arguments, and you keep repeating it, once you start to actually need to do this, your brain will look at you and say, "Yeah, that is what I do. This is how I do this." But that's almost impossible to do until you've done it. But actually visualizing doing it is doing it, because you're using exactly the same neurology to imagine doing it as you will be doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard Roger Federer talking about this, how he imagines beating people and goes through it in his mind, his serve, and how he's going to do it, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's really powerful, I think.
Yeah, I mean, three groups of people that use visualization in a profound way: athletes,
Yeah.
surgeons.
All right. Okay.
Surgeons, you know, you think about, you know, the more intricate the surgery is,
Yeah.
you know, the more you need to rehearse. Well, you can't just keep opening people's heads up to rehearse.
No.
That wouldn't go down very well.
No. Let's have a go.
Let's just try.
See if I can do it. Yeah.
So surgeons and high performers in business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are three groups of people that use it all the time successfully.
I got another one for you as well. Actors.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, I mean, they, you know, what does an actor do when they've got a part? They rehearse.
Yeah.
They do it again and again and again until they know that script and they deliver it and nail it, and then brilliant.
We hear about method acting, don't we, where people enter that role, that persona, from the minute they walk on set.
Yeah.
And they don't come out of it.
No, yeah.
Whilst they're on set.
Yeah, there's a few. I'm trying to remember who it was. One of the was it Clint Eastwood or Rocky or somebody like that said he literally goes into that state as you were,
Yeah.
and he becomes, you know, Dirty Harry or whoever he is.
Yeah. So that's another one. I'll share with you a very interesting one, though it does sound a bit off the wall.
Okay.
There is a period of time just as you are falling asleep where your brain waves change.
Mm-hmm.
Equally, there is a time immediately after you wake up where your brain waves go through the same change.
Mm.
So what's actually happening there is your brain waves are slowing down,
Right.
giving more access to your unconscious, subconscious mind.
Mm.
Now, if you can do exercises before you start scrolling on your phone, before you start making that cup of coffee, before you start arguing with the wife or husband or whatever, you focus on something in that period of time, well, that is a really powerful way of accessing your unconscious mind, your subconscious.
Right. Okay. I'd never
So
thought.
it's just before you go
Makes
to
sense.
sleep
Yeah.
and just as you wake up.
Right.
Now, the first one is called hypnagogic. So you are in a
Okay.
hypnagogic state. The
Right.
second one is hypnotropic, hypnotropic, which is where you're coming out of that state.
Okay.
But it's a very effective way of accessing your unconscious mind and bypassing that filter that we talked about earlier.
Brilliant. Oh, that's incredible. I mean, we could talk all day, but we are sort of running out of time. So, Michael, if people want some help from you, would like to find out more about what you do, what should they do? How can they get hold of you?
Well, if you want to see more of what I do, I mean, each week I do, I think, usually 3, sometimes 6 videos per week on a particular topic, so they can see how it might be able to help them. And from there, to just contact me via email, which is michael@bespokeminsolutions.co.uk, and I'll be happy to take a free phone call with you and to see if together we decide it's the right course of action to you.
Okay. Where do they
At the
find the
moment,
videos from?
pardon?
You mentioned the videos. Where are they?
Well, it's Bespoke Mind Solutions, but it's on Facebook, it's on
Okay.
Instagram, it's on
Yep.
TikTok, and it's
Okay.
particularly on LinkedIn, because
Right.
there's a lot of my customers that are on LinkedIn because they're business people, and my focus tends to be on business related matters, because I think these are the people that need the help but don't think it's for them.
Yeah. I think in sport we know that we have to do this, but as a business leader, it's like, you know, I don't need this, you know.
Oh yeah, it's very macho.
Yeah,
I don't need to do that.
I don't need somebody. Yeah, but actually they do.
But if you think about it, Steve, that's a totally irrational thought pattern, because in business, how we tend to promote people is say, Steve, you're really good at science. You're really good in the lab. I want you to manage the lab.
Yeah.
There's no correlation at all
nothing to
between
do with
you
it
doing the day-to-day job and managing the lab.
Yeah.
None at all.
No, I totally agree. It comes back to that old business principle that Michael Gerber talks about in the book The E-Myth, that just because you're good at doing the work, whether it's repairing cars or doing accounts or whatever it is, cutting hair, believing because you're good at doing the work of the business that you can run a business that does that work. And as Gerber said, it's simply not true.
It's not true
We need
at all.
help. We need skills that we've not got, you know, when we particularly when we start off in business.
Yeah, we need those skills, and the hypnosis bit is a skill as well.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Visualization is not wishful thinking.
No.
Visualization is training the subconscious mind.
Yeah, brilliant.
Not wishful thinking.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to bring it to a close. Thank you ever so much for being here. Thanks for sticking with us as well. A big thank you to Michael. Really appreciate your time. I'm sure you've helped people massively. Give them something to think about, and you know, go to get in touch with Michael on LinkedIn probably, and see where you go from there. If you need any help from me in terms of sales and marketing, my website's been scrolling along the bottom of the screen, so just get in touch with me and we can talk from there. So thank you ever so much for listening, and look forward to speaking to you next time. And don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube, connect to me on LinkedIn and to Michael. Thank you.
Bespoke